to After Further Review.
What is going on, everyone? Episode 33 of After Further Review here. Ben, Ryan, and Chase coming at you with another one. We are not going to be live today, but we hope you guys enjoyed. Last week's was kind of a raw episode. We did go live at the last minute, and we were in person, so it's kind of worked out, and it was a fun one.
Dang, we're already on episode 33. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun last week. It was like a secret episode we did. We just got together and popped it on real quick.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, guys, do not forget to check out our socials. We're going to have an announcement later this week about a special guest next week that we're all pretty excited about. So confirmed it again today, and yeah, so we're pretty excited about it.
I'm just gonna say that I'm like 80% nervous, but I'm excited. I'm just also really nervous, but excited to have our first official guest on AFR Show Pod after further review next week. So
yeah. No, we are all very excited to have him on. And to start off the show, let's just do a little trivia. This one my dad actually sent, so I'm gonna read it and kind of just give it to you guys. It is not just a baseball trivia. It includes all the four big sports.
okay.
Like leagues. So all right, you guys ready? In the big four of sports, so you got baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. How many team names are shared, and what are those names?
Okay. Chase, we have the Cardinals is an easy one.
Yeah, Cardinals,
The Giants.
Giants,
And now I have
Kings.
Yep.
Kings. Good hit, Chase. Good hit.
Yeah.
Three more.
Oh,
You
we're
got
already
half.
halfway there. So football. I mean, you can just dive through. Oh, the Rangers.
Yep.
Let's go.
Rangers.
I'm just trying to like sip
Is the
my-
Hawks one? Hawks? No Hawks.
Two more. You guys are doing well.
There's probably not a lot of basketball because they have weird names. I don't know if we get any. Oh yeah, the Kings were the one, but I don't know. Basketball is weird. I want to dive back into baseball. There's a lot of birds in baseball, a lot of birds in football, but I don't know if any more overlap besides the Cardinals. You got
Do you want a hint
No.
of like the sports for the last couple?
Okay, fine.
All right.
One of the sports is a football and hockey, and the other one is a
Jets.
yep, and the other one's also a football and hockey.
Oh, the Winnipeg Jets, Chase. Good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Panthers.
Yes.
Yeah, the Panthers. Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's all.
Come on,
six.
Chase. I got a hockey one,
Nice.
baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you guys are good with that. But thanks, Dad, for sending that. That was a fun kind of just little
So
trivia.
how many total were there?
There were
Six?
six. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got. I mean,
Boys.
yeah, we killed that, Chase. Good work.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a good way to start the show. And speaking of, we had some baseball going on, but we are at the last week of baseball season now. And I guess first off, congratulations to the Phillies.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
You already know,
yeah.
Chase. I was at the game over the weekend. Our buddy Nuke was actually at the game for the clincher. Bought tickets
Nice.
2 weeks ago, hoping that there was a chance that could be the clinching game. And Johan Rojas didn't trade him at the deadline. So happy about it. And he sends us into the postseason back-to-back years.
Yeah, I love the momentum that they have right now. And it seems like they're just really comfortable as a team together. So it's really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. I was super pumped at the game. I did my sister's favorite player is Alec Boehm. She's literally obsessed with him. She has like 5 Alec Boehm t-shirts.
Oh my gosh.
And obviously my guy is JT. Chase, I might have stolen it from you, but so I just did, a little parlay of JT and Boehm each to get a hit, and they smashed it with 2 each. Boehm had a homer. I should have gone more intense, but I was excited about that little hit. First live parlay I think I've ever hit. So
Nice.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And they ran away with the wild card. And kind of as we look at down the standings, you have a battle with that. The Cubs have it right now, but the Marlins got rained out last night. So it's just between them and Cincinnati. It's a three-way race for one spot.
I wish I would have remembered. I know last podcast, I think we talked about which teams are going to make it. I don't know if any of us had the Cubbies in there. They're still in there. I feel like we had the Diamondbacks, maybe the Marlins or the Reds. I think, Chase, you and I maybe hopped on the Reds, but what the heck, the Chicago Cubs? They seem like they've been irrelevant since 2016, and they're back.
Yeah. I didn't think they'd be doing this well at this point in the year.
Yeah, I mean Justin Steele emerging out of nowhere as a potential Cy Young winner is crazy. I don't think anyone saw that coming. And I just want to point out the Padres, they made a late run, but probably too little too late. But their run differential is plus 94, which is insane for a team that's going to be out of the playoffs.
That is actually really crazy.
Do they finally have all their core guys
Yeah.
playing?
And
Like Machado, Tatis,
yeah,
Soto, they're all playing.
yeah. And I will say we, in the beginning of the season, chat on Soto a lot.
Oh, we destroyed him that one
And
episode.
he has come back and he has had a really good year. So I want to just say that he came back and he's had a very productive year. He's hitting 276. He's got 35 home runs, 108 RBIs. He's still got a 410 on base, 159 OPS plus. I mean, he's having a great year, probably potentially like top 15 in the NL.
It's crazy though, because it feels like the Padres upgraded this season, and last season they were in the divisional round, right?
It's the same as the Mets. They
Were they in the divisional, or when did the Phillies play them? Was it
They knocked out the Dodgers.
They knocked out the Mets and then knocked out the Dodgers.
So it was the NLCS. They made it the championship series last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt like they upgraded, and now, I mean, this is just why baseball is so much fun. Like, you think they were that close to the World Series last year, and now this year, there's a chance they sneak in, and I don't want to go off on the deep end saying they didn't even make the playoffs, because then they will make it to the World Series and I'll look like an idiot. But it's just, baseball is wild, man. Right now the Cubs are ahead of them.
Yeah.
And have that playoff spot.
Yeah, that's crazy. And and then we'll look quickly at the AL over here. And I mean, another battle for the wild card and even the division with the AL West.
Yeah, Rangers have not completely tanked. They kind of bounced back. I know Ben and I were high on them at one point in the season, and then they went on like an 8-game losing streak, and we thought they weren't even going to make the playoffs. But I just really hope Seattle somehow squeaks in there. I know they finally got to the playoffs last year, I think. I think they lost in the wild card round, if I remember correctly. But they're a fun team to watch, and that city gets behind their fan bases. So rooting for them to somehow squeak through. But I mean, it's going to be a crazy finish for the AL West, which I would not have thought would be as competitive as it is.
And then Baltimore basically guaranteeing themselves a spot. And so it'll be a fun playoff. Scott, I think that I saw for the first time in 30 years, there's no Yankees, Red Sox, or Cardinals, I think, with the three teams. Like, neither of them first time in like 30 years.
That's like in the NBA when it was like it was like LeBron, Durant, or I don't even know, whatever. But that was for the finals in the NBA. But this is insane. No Yankees. I mean, there's 3 wild card spots. They didn't even get in.
You love to see it.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I'm glad the Orioles finally made it to the postseason and like have really good chances, because there's so many times, especially like the early 2010s, when they would have a monster first half and then just completely have the wheels fall off. And then the one year they finally broke through and then couldn't get past the Red Sox, I think.
I mean, it's crazy too, because them and the Rays have the best 2 records in all of baseball, I believe. And neither one have clinched the division yet. And this just makes me like remember all those. I mean, I don't remember, but you research pre-wildcard times, all those amazing teams the Red Sox have, and they would never get into the playoffs because the Yankees would have the best record in baseball. The Red Sox would have like the second. And that was the original reason for them making the wild card. But the Rays having that top wild card spot's awesome. But if you're going to have the second best record in baseball and having a way first best of 3 series, that's not fun.
Yeah, we should do a deep dive into that at some point. I remember there's some early like 2000s teams that had 100 wins and didn't make the playoffs, which is just nutty to think about.
Yeah, I mean, football, you didn't see it as much, but baseball, they didn't add the second wild card team till recently, and now they just added the third. But I forget, guys, for the 3-game series, how does that work? Is it just the home team gets all 3 games, or do they travel?
No, I think it's the home team gets.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, because they play like every day. That'd be a lot.
Yeah, they play like 3 days in a row if needed.
So Rays basically have to win a series just to make
it out of the gate
in the second round. Yep.
It's like the Phillies last year. They had
Yeah.
to go into St. Louis, and then luckily they got out right away, 2-0, came back, and then never had to leave.
I just want to quickly talk about a couple picks finally locked here as the season's wrapping up. So fortunately, Ryan, Cardinals did not pull out a miracle and get the 88.5. So that has been marked a loss. Athletics did lock; they're under, so that worked out. And it looks like they're also going to get the worst record in the league, so that'll be nice. As a podcast, we're still 11-4, so still doing pretty good.
So I just want to quickly say we're 11-4 as a podcast. I'm 0-3, so I definitely am not pulling my weight. But I also haven't hurt us that much because I haven't made that many picks so far.
Yeah. I will say the Rams division one is not looking great right now, so we'll see. So yeah,
I mean, if they get Cooper Kupp back and he's healthy, they could.
that's true. They haven't looked as bad as I think people would have thought. So
I don't think they look as bad as they did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stafford doesn't look bad. Like Stafford looks semi-healthy, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, last year they were just ravaged by injuries too. So I feel like a lot of people are getting back up to like strength, and so they could heat up a little.
Yeah. So still staying hot.
Yeah, 73% winning percentage for AFR. Everyone out there listening, just please hop on the board. I know our boy Ben's at a 90% hitter, but Chase is 2-0 so technically he's at an infinite hit rate. So just fade me, ride everyone else, and you'll be good to go.
You had that pick this weekend though. You got to just send it, not even think about it.
I know. I can't even think about. I mean, my Titans over 7.5. We're looking great.
What are they?
Great. They're 1-2. That's exactly where they need to be. They'll finish 8-9 and they'll hit it.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. Henry hasn't going yet.
I actually did hit 2 nice 3-leg parlays over the weekend.
Nice, Chase.
Yeah.
What were they?
There was one a parlay of 3 tacklers on defense to get all of them had, but 2 of them were 9.5 tackles. The other one was 7.5. They all got over. So I won that one. And then the second 3-leg parlay was for Monday Night Football. So Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown, under 46.5, AJ Brown receiving yards. Yeah. So
nice.
So like 50. Yeah. It's not bad. All good. I just immediately haven't looked at anything since then.
Yeah. Well, and I'm still pretty disappointed. I lost to Ryan in fantasy. Lost by 2 points. I was down to 1 point. Joe Mixon had 70 yards with like 8 minutes left in the game. Couldn't get one more yard. He had I think his last 3 or 4 carries, he lost -5 yards. Dang. So took the L on that one. So
that's just a prime example of why I hate fantasy football percentages to win. Because at one point, I know it was a tie game at one point, and I was up by 2, and there was 4 minutes to go. And I think the Bengals might have gotten the ball back, and it was giving me a 99% chance to win. I'm like, if Joe Mixon catches one catch for 7 yards,
it's over.
6.
Yeah, he was at 1 for 6. One catch in a PPR league, and you tie me, if not beat me. And I'm like, bro, if I blow a 99-1 lead, I'll be so salty. But yeah, Ben, you cut it to 1 point, and you were back to 2 points. And then once the Bengals took the lead, it seemed like the Rams just had the ball the rest of the game. So
I thought I had that whole matchup in the bag, and then literally Adam Thielen goes absolutely berserk he was 11 for 140 and a touchdown. I'm like, when has he ever done this in the last 2 or 3 years?
Bro, Ben goes, I feel like in his prime, he never had numbers this good.
Yeah. And I feel like it was just a touchdown, a red zone guy.
Dude, Ryan had 3 guys left to go at 4 o'clock, and he had Thielen, Kenneth Walker, and Metcalf, who got a combined I think close to 80 points between the 3. It was ridiculous.
By the way, now that I have not officially accepted or declined it yet, but now that we're talking about fantasy, Devin dropped a massive trade offer to me today.
I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, I feel like he's trying to, sell high and also buy low with my team here. And I'll probably end up declining it or countering it, but here it is for everyone listening out here. So Devin wants, for my team, he wants Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and DK Metcalf. And right there, I'm thinking Alvin Kamara hasn't played. Alvin Kamara hasn't played a game yet, and Derrick Henry, I feel like we have not seen his full potential. And DK Metcalf, I'm like, okay, solid wide receiver, and he's willing to give me Tyler Lockett,
Downgrade.
Lamar Jackson, and Devon Achane, if I pronounce that right.
Okay.
And I just feel like the Devon Achane had the monster game. I mean, yeah, you think Tyler Lockett's a downgrade from DK, right?
I mean, fantasy-wise, I feel like DK's better, right? When do you say that?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
like my quarterback's Russell Wilson, Lamar would be a major upgrade over him. I'm giving up 2 running backs, and I feel like in our 14-person league, there's nothing more valuable than an RB1, and I'm giving up 2 RB1s essentially.
Yeah. I mean, as commissioner of the league, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
well, I might as well just toss this on here. Full disclosure: Dev has also sent me a trade request.
Oh, wait.
What if we
I feel
both
like
accept? Can they even go through if we both accept?
I don't know, but he sent me 2 offers in the last week, both for Ridley and Pacheco on my team. But he's willing to give me Lamar, A-Chain for Ridley and Pacheco, and I don't think I'm in for it. Although Lamar would upgrade my QB position. I have Jordan Love, but
I feel like you were really high on Ridley.
Yeah. And then I have a really solid 1, 2, 3 receivers between Jamar Chase, Waddle, and Ridley.
So basically, Devin's just trying to use like Lamar as being an upgrade to our QB. Because can someone go to his team real quick? Does he have a backup QB stash, and that's why he's willing to give up Lamar?
I don't know.
We'll get Stack Guy on that real quick but yeah, if we both accept, they can't. What happens? Because he's
I don't know.
He got Stafford.
He's got Stafford chilling in the bank. I mean, I don't know. For me, I haven't even seen Alvin Kamara play yet. He's been suspended.
Yeah.
He could be garbage and it'd be a great trade. And I don't know.
Also, I feel like you have a lot more to lose in that deal. Yeah. Because you have number 1s, which are key.
Yeah. Kamara's an RB1, Derrick Henry's an RB1, and DK's probably the wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
So then he's giving me a wide receiver 2. Achane basically splits carries with Mostert. So it's like
he did nothing the first 2 weeks.
No. Yeah, so I'm probably going to decline. But Dev, I might counter, so be ready. And I will say it wasn't a terrible trade offer. Whenever Tanner tried to trade me Jackson Smith and Jimbo for David Montgomery, I laughed and declined it. So
yeah,
at least this one was worth talking about.
Yeah, I'm always down for trades. I just feel like I'm so early still.
Part of it's probably because Dev's the only 0-3 team, and he's trying to just do something.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Dev.
I mean, going into last week too, I was feeling a little desperation being the last ranked team, but luckily I've moved myself up a few spots.
Yeah, but your team just had like week 1, you would have won if Aaron Rodgers didn't destroy himself.
Yeah. Week 2, I wrecked myself by benching Josh Reynolds. Last week, yeah, I won.
Oh, dang. Devin's giving up over 400 points. Dev, there's your problem. Where's your defense at, buddy? You're giving up 400 points so far. It's a 14-person league. If you get over 100, you should have a chance to win, Dev. I don't know what you're doing over there. Play some defense.
I mean, remember last year, I think it was Durz's team wasn't bad, but he was getting wrecked on like every matchup.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. There's always someone each year that gets like destroyed.
Yeah, like they're putting up, they would beat everyone else in the league, but they keep playing the highest scoring team every week somehow.
So I mean, I'm not going to really talk about the Jets. I just want to say that they need to get rid of Zach Wilson, but that's all I want to say about that.
It's a tough spot.
I saw Mike White throw a nice pass to Robbie Chosen when he came off the bench from 2, and I was just like, oh, I remember when Mike White was on the Jets doing pretty well. Who else do they have on the Jets? They
signed Trevor Siemian, which is a weird
move. Not do anything.
Might as well just sign a bag of poop.
Their backup is Tim Boyle. That's who it is.
Oh, Tim Boyle, former Packer.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a minute. I know, 20 minutes.
It's been Aaron Rodgers' backup a few times. I think all of our teams had a pretty forgettable week, so I think we can just put it at that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Cowboys definitely were overlooking the Cardinals, and honestly, the most saddening news was just Trayvon literally tearing his ACL in practice. I don't understand. He's been pretty durable so far in his young career, and there's just suck because And I was complaining this about Lindsay. I hate injuries that are out for the season injuries. I would rather deal with like some type of like hamstring or something where there's a chance to come back. Even like Derrick Henry's broken foot last year, where it's like, oh yeah, he might not be fully healthy, but he'll be back in time for like week 16 or 17 or 18 or whatever. I just hate the fact that like I don't know, we're still at a point in sports where you could have an injury. I mean, I should be grateful there's not as many career-ending injuries as there are anymore. I mean, ACLs are just tough. I guess if you
Yeah.
rupture your Achilles and you're Aaron Rodgers, though, you have a chance to come back.
Well, he's not coming back if they can't win some games. So
Yeah, that's a very soft Ryan rant, though. Speaking of coming back, real quick before we move on, Chase, Reese Hoskins is ramping up. I don't know how much he'll do if he comes back, but that would be insane if he did. That's another one of those where I would thought there was no shot, but
Yeah. I mean, he did it so early in the year. Like they always said that there might be a chance because Kyle Schwarber did it that one year
oh,
where he came
true.
back. But I mean, he's obviously going to be super limited. And I
Yeah,
don't know if that's better or worse to have somebody who's, we already have Bryce who's somewhat hampered by stuff. Can't play full ability. Obviously, still an impact player, but I don't know if you want to have him in the lineup. It'd still be good to have him in the clubhouse, though, I think for sure. But
that's
it
what I'm
would
saying.
be cool. I mean, it would be cool to see. That's an amazing thing, a big feat
It,
to come back from such an injury. But
I
it could,
saw that if unless the Phillies got to like the play or the World Series, it wouldn't probably be before then.
yeah,
But
but I mean, even if they, I mean, just seeing like him as a pinch hitter or something in the playoffs, just like him being there because he's been on the team for so long. Like, I don't know. It's just like why I got salty with the Trayvon thing because the Cowboys have been playing so well. And the same thing with the Phillies. Like, you want all your guys, the core guys at least, to be a part of like those runs and they help, right?
oh
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. So,
I mean, I'm still pissed over the fact that there's 5 Ravens that have been drafted that have never played one single game together.
that's insane.
that's still ridiculous.
I mean,
It's not possible. It's
I
some
guess
kind of hell. It's some kind of sick world where
It
they
has
just
mostly
don't
to do
want
with
that.
Dobbins.
this is
It's
this.
mostly Dobbins, and then Ronnie Stanley's been hurt,
Yeah.
then Bateman's been hurt, then Lamar's been hurt, and it's just been a never-ending cycle. And it's right back to where we left off last year with 10 people already injured.
Yep, you're already on like your third string secondary in the
Yeah,
defense, and this is why
second
football
string
will always
center.
be like my number three because there's just too many
It's a
injuries.
soft three.
It's just what do you mean a soft three?
Like it could easily get pushed to 4 or 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
If it wasn't as popular in my newly household with
Oh.
everyone else living in it, it could easily move like below tennis.
yeah. I mean, football, I would say, is easily my junkie sport where it doesn't matter how garbage the teams are, I'm watching a part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean it's fun to get into it with fantasy and we do the
Yeah.
pickups and stuff. So, but
I mean, even if it's like Division 3 Marist College playing.
okay.
As we transition from NFL, some big college stories coming out. I mean, the biggest one I saw was obviously Colorado just getting destroyed by Oregon. Chase might have been happy about
Oh
that one.
yeah.
But did you guys see anything else that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, the Oregon Colorado game probably I think went about as expected as a lot of people thought. Oregon was a 20-point favorite and they
I did not realize.
completely blew the doors off of Colorado. And you could obviously see that they didn't deserve to be on the same field. There's a clear difference in talent level, and they fell out of the top 25. They could be back later in the year, but they think their schedule is going to get pretty beefy. They play USC this week, so it could be another 40-point drubbing before they know it. And Colorado's offensive line is just so awful. They couldn't stop anything, and it's going to get worse as they get deeper into what remains of the Pac-12, which is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Some other things, 2 games that I saw that really stuck with me over the weekend was the Clemson Florida State game. I don't know if you guys saw any of the highlights of that game. It was pretty insane. Clemson is having real problems with their kicking position, so they brought back a guy who was a 4-year member of their team, never started, left the program, and then they came back. He re-enrolled, and he had a chance to win the game with like 30 seconds left. and it was like a 30-yard field goal. All he did was hit the chip shot, and he bricked it. And it goes into overtime, and Florida State wins.
Oh my gosh.
So the whole moment leading in was just how, like, what a magical moment this could end up being. This guy didn't get to play at all. He comes back, 5 years in, and then could hit a game-winning field goal over Florida State, who's been outrageous this season, knocking people off left and right, and he completely hits it wide, and then they never get the ball back really to get a chance.
We cue the announcing for that.
From the 20-yard line. A 30-yard kick, and it is no good.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And the second game I was pretty invested in was the Ohio State Notre Dame game. It was the primetime game. Big implications being a Penn State fan. Obviously, Ohio State, anytime they have a chance to lose, I'm interested. Notre Dame, I have to fully admit this at this point. Hannah is a massive Notre Dame fan, so my hate. Yeah, so but she has ties. She has legit ties, her uncles and family. So yeah, so now I respect Notre Dame. I don't fully just outright hate them for everything, but so I was a little bit interested. Yeah, so I was like, okay, this is odd. I feel weird rooting for Notre Dame, but this is worth it. And the game was close. They really held them in check. And the last two plays of the game, for whatever reason, they completely bungled the play. They went out with 10 men on the field both times and refused to call a timeout because they didn't want to give or take the penalty to give Ohio State more chances at a down. So Ohio State runs the ball down inside a minute, inside 50, inside 30 seconds and inside 10, and then it basically walks off on a touchdown when Notre Dame didn't have enough people on the field for a goal line stand on not even the last play, the last two plays. So pretty bad. They had a chance to win that game, and it really just stuck with me. But yeah,
it was like bad coaching.
Yeah, real bad coaching.
You can play with less than 11 guys on the field, because I know depending on the sport, sometimes that's
I guess you can't have over 11, but if you only send out 10 people, I guess that's on you. Like,
whoa, that sucks.
So that's bad. I mean, and especially at college, you have 90 people on a roster, like 100 coaches. There's so many people there. And how did nobody notice that there was 10 people for the last two plays? Yeah, just to circle back to Clemson, though, I found this really interesting, though. During the game, they brought up the fact that Clemson hasn't taken on a single transfer in the last year.
That's a mistake.
Whoa.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That feels like a mistake.
So, and you could say it's showing too, because they've struggled in games and they can't close out, and just the competitiveness, and they've had such a roster turnover, and they were a legit program. They were winning championships, bringing in 5-star recruits, but it's hard to sustain. So it really makes you respect an Alabama program that just continues to be top. Some years are up or down, but just to maintain that level, and Georgia now, it's insane to be able to do that. So yeah, I just thought that was crazy. Like with Dion and the news he gets and getting transfers, that Clemson, after being such a powerhouse, you think they would take advantage of every opportunity and rules and NIL, and they don't have any transfers. So just thought that was really interesting. If you would have asked me a week ago how many transfers they had, I would have said 10 to 15, and they had 0. By choice, bucking the trend, and could say it's not really paying off.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It feels like ever since Lawrence left, they've just been a shell of themselves.
Yeah, they've definitely had trouble finding a good quarterback.
Yeah, Chase, and real quick, I just want to ask you, because I know it's super early, and I feel like this happens with Penn State every year, but they're 4-0. They're beating the teams they're supposed to be beating pretty well off. They're the 6th seed right now. Top 4 make the playoffs. Do they have a shot to get in this year? They haven't I don't even remember the last time they've come close to making it, but do they have a shot this year?
I would say the closest they probably got was the year they had Barkley, Sanders, Trace McSorley that year. I think it was like 2017. And, they lost the Ohio State game, which pretty much put the coffin in for that year. I think that year he ran back the opening kickoff, and it was just a crazy game. But I think Penn State legitimately does have a shot this year. Drew Aller's a really good quarterback. Their defense is legit. They cheated themselves with the whiteout and put it against Iowa, so I'm going to definitely pound them for that. it's a skank move just to improve your overall record for whiteout games was to put it against Iowa. So whatever. I know it had to do it, but they have bigger games this year, and I don't think they play Ohio State at home. So I guess that would have been the game they probably would have wanted to do it against. But Ohio State doesn't really look that great. Like I said, Notre Dame almost beat them. Michigan's probably going to be the toughest team to go against for them in their matchup. So if they beat Michigan, for sure they're getting into the playoffs. But that means that they have to win every other game, and that obviously means beating Ohio State and beating a team like Michigan State, which for whatever reason sometimes will trouble them, or these later Big Ten games. But I think overall they're really good. Just a better roster than maybe that they've had over the last few years, and that's mostly because of Drew Aller.
I was gonna say it feels like a while for the Penn State in general. It just feels like they're known for defense and their run game, but this is like they have a legit quarterback, and that feels like the difference at least this year.
Yeah, and if they would just the thing that really irks me is they don't get their tight ends more involved in what they do. And if they do that, they're going to be such a deadly team because they do have two amazing running backs. Aller's deadly accurate. He's almost like a pudgier Mahomes.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking at the SEC standings right now, and they're usually like if any, conference, and now that the Big Ten and SEC are powerhouses, like either one could always get two teams in. I know it's hard sometimes for a conference to get two teams in, but they're not looking as overall like stout as they usually are, and they've added teams, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Georgia's obviously going to be Georgia, but Alabama looks a little less intense than they do every other year since the beginning of time.
Lost.
But yeah, I mean, they already lost once this year. So I don't know. I know it always comes down to like Penn State and Michigan, and the last like 5 years, Penn State's got like stomped by both of them every year. But
I think this could be the year that they do it and put it together. Two games I'm looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, I'm going to go back with Notre Dame, but they're playing Duke. So that's a really good matchup. Duke has been really good this year. They're underrated, I would say, in a little bit of way, but they're going to get their due this weekend, especially against a good team like Notre Dame. And also LSU versus Ole Miss. This is a rivalry game. It's a big game. And two suspect coaches who I feel like never show up for the big moment going against each other. So it should be interesting. It's going to be like two people playing Russian roulette blindfolded.
I love that.
Yeah, so it should be a really good game. A lot of mistakes, hopefully. So it should make for a lot of action.
All right, well, let's on the heels of that, let's do a quick random box score. How about it?
I love it.
Get a quick random box score going. What are you guys feeling? What sport?
I like sticking with college football.
Okay.
I think we did that last time, and we uncovered a few players we didn't think we'd uncover.
All right.
So I'll pick. I went with sports. So
all right, Chase, why don't you go next?
Okay, I'm gonna go the year 2009.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the ACC.
Okay, I like it.
The highest ranked ACC team's bowl game.
Okay, so that's like the Fiesta Bowl, maybe.
Like whoever was a top ranked ACC team in 2009, we're just gonna dive into.
Well, I guess we have to go to that ACC championship. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just do the ACC championship game.
Oh my gosh.
Georgia Tech versus was that Clemson?
Let me just get to a better way to see this. This is ridiculous.
December 5th,
These
2009.
teams better be from the Atlantic Coast Conference, actually.
All right, so we got Georgia Tech beating Clemson.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, they were the number 10 ranked team.
Yeah.
Holy smokes!
Oh, CJ Spiller.
Oh,
Oh
Andre
my
Ellington. Do you remember him with the Cardinals?
Yeah,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at Spiller, dude.
Really, 20 for 233 and 4 tutties. Oh my gosh!
Look at the cool, and they took an L.
Damn.
Oh my god!
Oh, Demarius Thomas, 1 catch, 3 yards.
Oh, rest in peace, Demarius.
Jonathan Dwyer, I remember him too.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Andre Ellington, I do remember too. Chase Demarius Thomas, he was a fan favorite. I feel like
Yeah.
Super Bowl ring. Right
Stephen
on the
Hill got
Broncos.
drafted by the Jets, and he was
Yeah.
everyone
His
thought he was
butt
going to be
cheeks.
good. Yeah, he was terrible.
He's awful.
He was really bad.
All right.
Mike Palmer.
You see the defense?
Yeah. All right. Oh,
Wait, go down to
hold
to
on.
see the punters if anything.
No. All right. Defense.
Oh,
Derek-
Morgan Burnett. Derek Morgan, yeah. Linebacker. Mario Edwards. Okay.
That Jason Peters or that's a different Jason.
Oh, no, it's a different Jason Peters.
Oh my gosh, I'm not seeing many names.
Well, these are guys who barely had. This dude had 1 tackle down here.
That one thing just says Lockhart. Doesn't even have another name.
It's insane that Georgia Tech was the 10th ranked team.
Yeah, and they were like they're not even like a throwing team. They're like an option team.
Oh, more or less of an option team than like Air Force that one year. I mean,
But they also had Calvin Johnson as a wide receiver. Like they've had amazing wide receivers for a
That's
team
true.
that never throws the ball.
Oh yeah, this is what we want, the roster that says like all the guys.
Oh yeah. CJ Spiller, yeah, obviously talked about him. Deron Brown, the wide receiver.
Oh, Ricky Sav, Javaris Jenkins.
Yeah.
yo, I wonder if Marcus Gilchrist is Michael Gilchrist's brother.
Then
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, he played with the Jets.
solid little career here.
Okay, I see Marcus Gilchrist playing.
This
Look-
would be a
look
good
at
one
the
for pro reference.
Hold on, we're diving into Marcus Gilchrist here. Look at the durability. 14 games, all 16, all 16, all 16, all 16, 13, all 16, all 16.
Dang, you love to see that.
That's a durable player right there, baby. I like it.
That's like that guy throwing 500 innings.
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
14 picks in his career. Okay, Marcus Gilchrist, stepbrother of Michael Gilchrist.
Wait, we
maybe.
never really found that
Oh
out.
yeah. I guess he's not.
I feel like we would have known, right?
Would we have? How would we have
Actually,
known
maybe not.
that?
Michael's not that.
We should get him on the podcast just to ask him.
Just to be like,
No questions about his career, just ask him who he's related to.
who is your brother, Michael
Oh
Gilchrist?
wait. Oh, personal life. Here we go.
Okay, they definitely would say Michael. If
Oh my
he-
gosh.
This
This is a dang story. Oh, his dad was in the army, made him do 200 a day.
His dad was a Marine and he made him do 200 push-ups a day
Oh
and
my
sit-ups when he started
gosh.
playing youth sports.
Yo, by the way, this weekend I got dared to do 40 push-ups and I literally made it to like 18 and I just couldn't go anymore.
That's not bad.
Dang.
I was like,
18's not
granted,
bad.
I was tired, you know. It was
Yeah.
after the Phillies game. I've been drinking a little bit, but
Oh, okay. So that was 18 was even more because the adrenaline was kicked in.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And lastly, here as we wrap up the show, just going to quickly talk about the WNBA playoffs. We haven't really touched on that at all much here on the show, but I've been following a little more just recently. And we're at the semifinals, and it's some really good matchups. We got the Sun and Liberty in the semifinals. Series tied 1-1, and then the Wings and Aces, and that one's up 2-0 for the Aces. So we'll see what happens. It goes for the first round goes 3 games, second round goes 5 games, and then championship is 7. So
I like that. Nice and simple, kind of like what baseball does. How many teams are in the WNBA?
so our game 5 is the championship. There's 9 games, 7-game series.
Okay.
For the WNBA, I think there's 12.
Okay, that's solid. And I
Well.
feel like they have a really good fan base. I mean,
The problem though is 8 teams make the playoffs, and I don't like that.
8 of the 12 teams make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying to scourge up some money, I feel like.
Dang. It's like fantasy football playoffs.
Not to be fair though, the final 4 in the semifinals are 1 through 4.
So the teams that were supposed to win did win.
Yeah.
Any players? I have 2 questions. My first will be any players to watch.
Yeah, I mean, New York MVP Breanna Stewart just got her second MVP, beating out Aja Wilson, who got the MVP last year, and Aja Wilson got Defensive Player of the Year. But those are the 2 powerhouse teams. The Aces went 34-6, and Liberty went 32-8. Basically, formed like the first ever super team in the WNBA. It's basically what they did this past offseason with Breanna Stewart joining Sabrina Ionescu. So
Wait, so are the top 2 MVP players playing each other right now?
no,
Oh, they're just supposed to win.
But they could match up.
yeah, they might match up in the
That would be
finals.
intense.
yeah.
Oh man.
All right, my second question is there who's your favorite WNBA team and are they still in it?
So it's weird. I've always watched the Connecticut Sun and the New York Liberty because I follow New York and my grandparents are from Connecticut, but it's cool that Connecticut has a team because they don't have any other pro sports teams. So I kind of like that. But all like the cards I have are all like Dallas Wings players, and it just kind of happened.
Okay. So you're just kind of like a little bit of little home team.
top 2 are Connecticut and New York.
So it's kind of like in baseball how you're a Mets fan, you kind of
No,
root for
it's not.
the Orioles,
Oh my gosh,
and you're a player fan for some teams.
it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all.
So the WNBA, you're just not. You love the sport. You're just not a diehard for.
I haven't figured out a team, to be fair.
Okay.
I haven't watched enough to be like, all right, this is my team. And New York, because I like everything else from New York. I feel like
It is cool. Connecticut has a team.
I like Connecticut. I like that they have a team. So
They should bring back the Hartford Whalers
yeah,
hockey team.
that's fun. Yeah, I forgot they had
Yeah.
that. But yeah, just a quick brief. WNBA, they don't always get the love, but there's some good basketball going on, and they're kind of wrapping it up here before the NBA season starts. So
Oh my gosh, guys, I was literally just looking at like just random just news feed as we're wrapping up the show, and literally 3 minutes ago, Damian Lillard was traded.
to where?
The Bucks. Oh my gosh. Yo, wait,
Wow.
pull this up real quick. Can I I need Stack Guy to give me the breakdown of this. This is insane.
That is crazy. The Bucks?
Hey, the Bucks coming out of nowhere.
I need what first I have so many questions because if Dame actually was fine with staying and they traded him, that's like the lowest of low of all time for a player being, committed to one team and getting just blindsided. There had to have been some undercover stuff, right? I mean, Dame's just
All right, so here we go. Bucks have reached an agreement to trade for star trailblazer Damian Lillard. So it's a 3-team trade that includes the Suns. So
of course, it's a 3-team trade.
So the Blazers will get Drew Holiday, an unprotected 2029 first-round pick, along with the right to swap first-round picks from Milwaukee in 2028, 2030. The Blazers also get DeAndre Ayton and rookie Tumani Kamara.
So really really good point guard, but old Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton, who's not going to carry a franchise.
And a first-round pick
no, don't even say that. That doesn't matter. It's
That
unprotected, and it's like
feels
18
like
years
not
old.
enough.
No.
Okay. In exchange for Ayton and Kamara, Phoenix gets Yusuf Nurkic,
Again, about that bag of poop.
Nasir Little, and guard Keon Johnson, as well as Grayson Allen from Milwaukee.
Honestly, that's a win for Phoenix because with Durant, Booker, and Beal, they needed more role players.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they got into this 3-team deal, but it worked
It's a
out.
win for Phoenix.
I
I
mean-
hate the Grayson Allen's on that team now, and now I'm
Yeah.
rooting against the
Oh
Suns.
yeah, I hate Grayson Allen as
Yeah.
well.
I kind of thought about it as in like, I'm assuming the Suns and Portland were talking about Ayton in a deal anyways, maybe even into last year because they benched Ayton at the end of the year. So that could have been always a thing. And then somehow the Bucks just decided to get in on Lillard, and it makes sense that they could facilitate that.
Ooh, some stuff going on.
What, and the Bucks
behind
just
the
get
scenes.
Dame then? That's the 3rd team?
Yeah.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
Dame and Giannis, that's a
They could easily win the championship
No.
this year, and I'm not even speculating because Giannis, they won a
Yeah.
championship already without like a stack team.
I will say I would have rather honestly traded Middleton instead of Holiday, but that's just me.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like Drew Holiday is just he's a good guy to have on a winning team.
He's the most underrated point guard in the NBA.
I get he's older, but still.
I wonder if the Sixers will try to make a run at Drew Holiday now.
Oh my gosh. I loved him the first time around.
I won't get into it with you guys, but I didn't know what was going on with Harden, but that's a separate issue.
No, and also I thought about it whenever you talked about Ayton being benched last year. This could be a good topic that we could really break down sometimes, but I wonder who gets shafted more since 2020, like the 2020s basically, centers in the NBA or running backs in the NFL. I feel like those two positions get hosed and you need those positions to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because you just think about where they've come from. I mean, like from anywhere before like 2005, like those were your top players, basically, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, but now it's been significantly point guards and QBs. But we could table that one. But that's an interesting thought I just thought of. But this trade is insane. Oh my gosh. I really want to know if Dame wanted out or not because he's one of the most loyal players in NBA history. And this is what our buddy Dom always gets mad about when players want traded. And everyone's like, oh, you signed the contract. But if Dame wanted to stay and Portland traded him, that's insane.
I will say I just looked at ESPN and there was a post apparently from Drew Holiday yesterday saying that he's a Buck for life, and he means that like deep in my heart. He doesn't want to play for any other team, and he posted that. Apparently, he talked about it yesterday.
He definitely had to know
Funny.
something was up.
I mean, I think Dame wanted out, but he wanted to go to Miami and nowhere else. I don't
That's
know.
insane, though. Oh yeah, we're about to see like a Miami Heat Bucks like Eastern Conference Finals this year.
Yeah.
Well, crazy breaking news on the podcast. Thanks for sharing that, Ryan. That's a wild trade, and NBA season's coming up, so we'll have to do our way too early brackets, predictions, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this show up. It was a great one. Ryan still got to do some moving for his new house, and yeah, like I said, look for an announcement on social media. We're gonna have a guest next week, and we're all really excited about it. So keep a lookout for that. Don't forget to follow Instagram, Twitter. Look us up on Spotify, YouTube, all the fun stuff, and gonna keep grinding these, and hope you guys are enjoying them. So like, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.